Thank you very much, Marilee Levand, who's a World Cleanup Day ambassador for the video message there. And now I'm going to call on Michael from Earth Day. Michael is here. He was on the stage last night dancing like Michael Jackson. He was fantastic. Give him a round of applause again. Show him some love. Join me on the stage, Michael. So you want to talk about the Great Global Cleanup for a few moments because you're a coordinator.
Yes. So I'm Michael Karapetian, and I am the Great Global Cleanup Coordinator at earthday.org. First and foremost, I wanted to say how amazing it is to be here and how amazing Let's Do a World is. This is my first time ever at a conference, and I have a feeling this is a pretty unique group of people. And it's been amazing getting to talk to different country leaders and different organizations here. You guys are amazing people. So I run the Great Global Cleanup, and we work very closely with Let's Do a World. And with the Great Global Cleanup, our goal is to create a waste-free world, just like Let's Do a World. And with that, we do a lot of different things. We try to find local partners, just like, there's a lot of synergies between us. We try to find local partners, coordinate with them, and talk with them, and try to spur people on to do cleanups. A lot of stuff we do is like individual cleanups and getting people to go out and have the tools themselves to go and go clean up their own communities. And we work with a lot of different corporations, and we're trying to find whatever we can do to get people to do cleanups, to get people to be part of this environmental movement. One thing I want to talk about is, as everyone here knows, I've gotten to talk to a lot of you. Cleanups are not enough, and we need to continue to do more. But cleanups are great in the fact that they get people to see the impact that we are creating on this world. I used to never do cleanups, and when I started with Steve, because I interned with them, that's when I actually started realizing that there's a lot of trash on the ground and there's a lot of work to do. So I want to thank you guys so much for having me here and having Earth Day here, and thank you so much, Let's Do a World, and keep doing what you guys are doing, and please feel free to come up to me and talk to me. I'd love to get to know more of you. Thank you, guys.
Great. Stay there for a moment. I'll just ask you. Very quickly, Michael, in the United States, how is the priority in terms of environmental issues? Because I know in Europe, it's a very hot topic at the moment. In America, it can be very polarized, can't it, but politically. So how is it at the moment?
Yes, polarized is a really great way to put it. And something that you kind of have to realize is that the people who are very polarized and who don't believe in climate change, which is unfortunately the case in the United States. The weird thing is, and I was talking to a few of you about this yesterday, the weird thing is that those people oftentimes live the most sustainable life, because they are the people who grew up on the land and they live on the land, and therefore they have a more conservative mindset. But those are the people who, if you reframe it and you talk about how to protect their land, and you find a way to communicate with them, they oftentimes live the most sustainable lives. So it's a really interesting dichotomy, and you just got to figure out who's your audience, who are you talking to, and then shift your language to be able to reach them. So.
Yeah, and the problem is that they will tend, even if they do live sustainable lifestyles, and they will tend to vote for people in politics who maybe not overtly or outwardly say they don't believe in climate change, but would not have a priority of pushing policies for the environment because it's seen as weak, or it's seen as, isn't that somewhat correct?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. It's very interesting, and it's unfortunate. This is my first time to Europe, and I'm talking with some of you guys yesterday. It became clear the influence that the United States has on the rest of the world. So I think it is our job, especially Steve and Bill, being here. It's our job, and everyone who's an advocate in the United States, to be able to find that common ground and build those bridges instead of continuing with this polarizing language, and learning to find ways to communicate and really connect with people on what their needs are.
It might be interesting just for a moment, and I know we're going a little bit off schedule, if I may, just for a few minutes, but I know last night and after the conference, a lot of people were talking about Gunter Pauli's conversation and his talk. And there was kind of a mixed reaction. Most people thought it was very inspirational, it was great, but I noticed some people from different parts of the world were saying that it was too aspirational and too pie in the sky, talking about changing the whole system. he was basically talking about moving away from capitalism and living in this community where, you don't kind of go by the rules of capitalism, but that means changing the whole system. Anyone have any thoughts in it? Because it was such a good conversation people were having yesterday. If someone wants to make a point now, just because we're touching on America, where they really do have that problem in the US. Anyone any thoughts on any of the talks yesterday? I'm looking at you, Steve. Yes. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
No questions, no comments or anything about what happened yesterday? Because everyone was all the talk about it last night. Ah. Very shy. More coffee. Okay, no problem. We'll talk. Michael, thank you very much. Round of applause for Michael. Sorry for putting you on the spot as well. That was great. Thank you.